it did air, but what you're concerned about is that it didn't air while the students were here. So it needs to go on the air during the school year. Is that your issue?
Well, of course. I mean, that's the whole point. It's a student body there. It's also, accessible to them. That's what community access means. And they were denied that opportunity because somebody stepped in and didn't approve of the content and put it on at the time when nobody would be, the fewest people possible would be watching. Okay, I mean, this is dirty tricks. These are old games, but I guess these people are foolish because they, I have a camera and a website, and the story is going to be out there. Plus, locally, once I get this written up and put it on my website, I also have bart.com that I'm starting out. And somebody had a solution for a healthy America, take the crime out of drugs. I'm coming up with solutions with scholarship, poetry, original poetry, stories. And the folks down there don't want to hear them. Well, one way or another, they're going to be instrumental in getting it out, Bob, okay? But do yourself a favor and me a favor. Don't try and pretend that somebody wasn't playing games down there. Because from January to June is a long time. All right?
Let me interject something and then also ask you a question for just a second here.
Go ahead.
I will interject by saying that when it airs and the relationship to students is really not a direct connection. Honestly, I don't think that the station is heavily watched by students. It's much more of a community station.
That's not the point. It wasn't put on, and I was never even notified if I hadn't been told. Okay.
I wanted to point that out because I don't think there is that relationship that you're concerned about. So, and we can go back and revisit an airing date, to the school year. But then the next question I had for you was, it sounds to me like a bit of a leap that you're saying that it didn't go on the air because somebody doesn't like the content. Did anybody say anything to you to indicate that it's not going on because of content?
Silence is golden. Okay.
Silence might just be he's too busy, and I'm not trying to be.
All right. Well, you explain to me, Bob. Okay. I would suggest you go and you talk to those people if you are interested in following up. All right. I know how many phone calls I made. I know how many calls were not returned to me. I was totally ignored. At first, Frank was he was very happy working with me, and then somebody checked out the content, and somebody didn't like the content, and somebody spoke to somebody else down there and said, okay, just ignore it, and played some time when there's nobody watching, and don't even talk to the guy. Okay, because I haven't heard from anybody. Now, you're a professional, and you know that these people are supposed to be professionals, and there is courtesy. No courtesy shown. Okay? So, if you want to check it out further on your end, but you can inform those folks down there that this is going to be on YouTube, this story, and the press release is going to be on the website, bart.com, and it's going to be put out locally and wherever out in the universe, because there are folks out there who are interested in this kind of censorship and this kind of bullshit. To be honest, this is bullshit, straight up. That's what I'm calling it as. And people, when they play their games, well, they picked on the wrong guy, because this guy is articulate and he's got poetry and stories to prove it, Bob. You can pass it on to him if you want.
All right, I will do some follow-up, but I do just want to, I'm going to do this politely, but I want to take issue there. I can tell you, because I know Frank and I know how this place works, there's no attempted censorship.
So you're saying they're incompetent, totally incompetent?
Well, I think he's just overwhelmed. It's just, he's one guy trying to keep this place, keep the station.
If he returned the call, even a month afterwards.
And I will just tell you that, the lack of follow-up, I wouldn't read anything into it. In fact, Frank is very, very mindful of the fact that when people bring things in, he has an obligation to put, we don't, there's no censorship discussion with Frank whenever I talk to him. So
that's when you talk with him, but I'm talking with experience here, Bob, and you can't explain to me what this behavior, except it is either censorship or extreme incompetence.
Well, I'm going to tell you it's not censorship, and
then it must be incompetence.
Interpret it as incompetence. I guess that would be your word. I would just tell you that his intentions are gold, and
really, well, he didn't fulfill his obligations here with this artist. A lot of work in there, and when somebody blows you off, and they don't return the DVD, and they never say a word when they're going to put it on, okay, and they've totally changed their word from what they originally said to you, I think that's a story in itself right there, Bob, okay? So you have a good one. Now you've got the story, the rest of the story, all right?
I do, and can I'm going to, at the risk of sounding ignorant, I think it's the speakerphone that is making it difficult, but I just want to go back on the spelling of your name because that will help me in my discussion with Frank to find out what the status is of this paper, where it might be. It's F as in Frank,
Yep.
I as in Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
N as in Newton,
Mm-hmm.
U as in Ulysses,
Yep.
E as in E, and A and E.
You missed the C,
There's
okay?
a C in there. Where's the C go?
After you.
Okay. All right.
Finucane. Finucane. Or Finucane on the surface if you just go by it, okay?
I've got it. All right. Very good. And I will tell you this, that I will follow up with you.
Okay, I'll hold off on sending that press release out until I hear from you, as long as it is within a reasonable period of time.
Yeah, I can promise you that I'll give you some call back. Whether I have the right answer for you in your eyes, I don't know, but I will follow up next week.
Okay, Bob.
All right, very good. Thank you. Nice talking to you, Bart.
All right, likewise. Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.